Hey guys, Evans with Z111 here today bringing you a video on Warframe. Now you may remember the other day I did a video on the Simulor in Warframe PvP, but I thought, okay, it's finally time to do a video on the Simulor in the main game, seeing as not too many people even play PvP right now. So I'm going to be showing you guys how effective it can be in a high level defense mission, and I will be using it against the Corpus, because the Simulor, it's a strange weapon, it really is, and it's very situational just as it is in PvP. I honestly feel as though there's not many weapons that the Simulor beats at all in terms of, oh, other weapons do it better. So the Simulor, if you don't know, it fires orbs. You can stack the orbs, and the orbs sort of create a vortex eventually, and then you can detonate it for electric damage, but the detonation just really isn't too useful because eventually it just, like, the range is really piss weak, and it's just everything about the Simulor is pretty lacking, to be honest. I am playing as Zephyr because that means I can fire these orbs further for long range damage such as that. And as you can see, the enemies, I think the orbs have gone actually, but if I fire one orb there, then detonate it, you see the damage is just really weak and it doesn't really do much at all. And the good thing about Turbulence too is it creates a defensive field for Zephyr. And it does, like, if you use the augment and your projectile speed is increased, it is really good for increasing the range so that you can do damage like that to enemies who are far away. Because another thing that is bad about the Simulor is how bad the range is. If you are, oh crap, I'm in a spot of trouble here. I need to throw that down. If you're not using Tailwind, is it Tailwind? No, Turbulence even. Don't know why I called it Tailwind. If you're not using Turbulence and you don't have increased projectile speed, then the orbs barely travel far at all. And I know on the flip side, travelling too far could be a problem, because it means if enemies are up close and personal, then it's very hard to actually damage them. But it's just, it's like a really shitty grenade launcher. I don't see anything that this weapon does that the Tonkor doesn't do better, or the Penta, or the Ogris, or any kind of explosive AoE weapon. Hell, even the Nucor, if I switch to this real quick, this is really powerful, and it does AoE, it kills things fast, and it works with range too if you have Ruinous Extension equipped. I just really, like, I did want to like the Simulor, don't get me wrong, and to be honest, for low level players, people who are going to be running missions on like Jupiter or whatever against Corpus, then yeah, it'll be fun. And I should actually mention this. I'm not one of those people who tries to min-max on Warframe. I'm not like, oh, I can get my Dread to do 24 million damage, it's clearly the best weapon in the game. No, I think, oh, this weapon's fun, I'm going to use this over other weapons. But the Simulor, the thing is, because of how situational it is, not necessarily weak, but because of how situational it is, it makes it not fun. It forces you into such a particular playstyle that you're constantly just going to have to be running, getting the right distance to enemies, and even when you manage to pull off, let's call it the combo, if you manage to get all the orbs in the right area and stack them and get a big stack, then the damage isn't rewarding enough. Yet alone the range and like how much you need to move and the maneuverability you need whilst using this weapon. I suppose Volt would actually be a good Warframe to use this weapon with, because of the fact he can use speed to get up close and personal with the enemies, but then you're sacrificing defensive capability. I know he does have his shields, but you need the mobility, and the shields stay in one area, so it really doesn't synergize too well. And the same goes for a lot of weapons. Like, this guy is just too hard to kill, because the orbs, so you need to be at a certain range. I sort of need to position myself some a certain distance to the enemies, and that is not fun. I don't really see how it could be fun. Like, even right now, I'm struggling to kill these enemies who are right in front of the damn orb, unless I sort of bounce them off, but now because I've created a vortex, I can't bounce them off, and they just bounce in random directions. So you can really sort of see where my problems with this weapon lie, and I'm disappointed, because what I would assume DE do are, they're going to say, alright, people really didn't like the Simulor, so let's make more boring weapons. Let's not try and do original ideas like we did with Simulor, because they backfire. Let's do like a hit scan bullet-based weapon that just, it's like an assault rifle, but I don't know, maybe it fires in double bursts or something. That's my prediction for the next bloody weapon. Because people use those weapons and they think, oh, these weapons are powerful and efficient, and they work well in the game. With Simulor, it doesn't work well in the game, and because of that, people aren't gonna say it's a good weapon, and then DE will think, oh, we've made a bad weapon, and let's not do that again. So it really is a shame. It honestly is, and I am genuinely curious to see how you guys would improve a weapon if you were DE, I guess, or part of a weapons balancing team. How would you fix this? Like, how would you make it a worthwhile weapon without making it overpowered? Because I can like understand where they're coming from. They don't want to make a weapon that is way too powerful and everyone uses it. And like, if the Simulor could verge on being very powerful, if it had really big range, and like, say if you could equip Firestorm or something of the sort, and then it would just be like, because it does do a lot of damage, don't get me wrong, and the status chance, the ability to like the proc chance on all the different statuses, it's really good. So if the range was good, if it was really good and better, and like it hit in a large area, then it would kind of be like the Torrid. Like the Torrid was for a while. The Torrid was the only thing anyone used in any defense mission, and it was boring, and it was really, I hated playing with those people. I would rather them create a bad weapon than a really good weapon like that just gets overused by everyone. But they do need to sort of find the balance between balance and fun, because this, I feel as though, is too balanced. That feels very weird to say. It feels as though it's too balanced, and because of that, it's definitely not fun. Right, I need to get some distance so I can clear up these guys. But that means running away from a defense objective. Like, as it is right now, unless I tailwind and fire down, then I can't actually kill anything next to the defense objective, which is a bit awkward. And like, I was sitting in a daily syndicate mission not too long ago, and it was a corpus defense mission. And I was using this, it was like level 28 or something, I was leveling it up, and I thought, oh, this is actually pretty fun, like, managing to kill enemies, like, if you manage to get the right line of sight, it was an interesting experience. But I realised, wait a second, I haven't had this on any other tile set. It was on the Corpus Ice tile set, the sort of outside one with big open areas, and in those sorts of missions, it's much easier to use, but in these ones, the interior ones, you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle a lot. And the amount I'm having to move around is ridiculous. I know it is a game based on sort of space ninjas being agile, moving around fast, parkour and everything, but with a weapon that essentially lays mines or singularities, where let's face it, it's a defensive weapon. I'm playing defense because it's a defensive weapon. You're not going to run around on an exterminate using this weapon, or a sabotage, or even a spy or anything. In fact, a spy would be interesting, because you can like work out the enemy's walking patterns and then lay out mines where they're going to walk. But then that leads me to another problem. The fact that the mines don't exist forever, and if you don't, or the singularities don't exist forever, and unless you add to them, they disappear. That's annoying in itself. Like, you can't lay out a singularity field, or you can't lay traps or anything of the sort. You have to constantly be topping up the singularities like it's a bloody pay-as-you-go phone in order to keep using them. Otherwise they just disappear, and it'd be cool if, yeah, they detonate, and yeah, technically they do detonate, but because the explosion is so piss weak, when they detonate, fuck all happens. And it doesn't, like, if the mines expire after 10 seconds, it should be cool. They should like detonate an explosion and do lots of damage, but they just don't. It just like this weapon, if it had a tagline, it would be, it just doesn't do what you expect, it just doesn't do what it should. And in PvP, I think it's actually the only area where I will have fun with this weapon, because it's more balanced, and the ability to like in PvP it is weak, don't get me wrong, but it does have those uses, being able to lay down mines in a Cephalon capture spot and then detonate it as someone runs over, and then finish them off with a melee weapon or your secondary. It's a really cool way of playing, it's a really cool style, but in the main game it doesn't translate as well. And this is like one of the only weapons where I've done a single, I keep calling it single player, it's not single player, where I've done a PvP video before the video on the weapon in the main game, And the reason for that is because, let's face it, in PvP it's more fun. I was constantly thinking, oh, it's not level 30 yet, so I don't know, it doesn't feel strong enough, I won't be able to do it justice. But the simple fact is, now that it's level 30, I still can't do it justice. And running around with my sword, slashing enemies, let's face it, I'd be on wave 10 by now if I was doing that. But I'm having to tiptoe around enemies. If I didn't have turbulence, I'd be dead. I would be so dead. This is the only thing keeping me alive, because I'm not killing the enemies fast enough at all. I just detonated it there. Yeah, I hit a few enemies, but I didn't kill any of them. I didn't do any damage or anything of the sort. Oh, that was annoying. What was it that knocked me down? Was it a grenade? Never had that happen before, I'll be honest. I don't know why my Nakan isn't working there, but if if DE are watching, God forbid, that'd be the day. If they are watching, okay, let's reword that. My message to DE is, keep trying to make weapons like this, please. Keep trying to make original, cool weapons with cool concepts that haven't been done before. But be careful, be very careful, because it's a risk. That's why games stick with boring weapons, in my opinion. Not just to keep to realism. I mean, like sci-fi games or whatever, games where creativity is allowed. They stick to boring weapons because weapons like this are risky to make. They're risky because they're hard to use, they're complicated, and they have unique effects that other weapons don't have, and it's very easy to make them too powerful. I am at risk of repeating myself here, so I'll be careful not to do that, but I've got one more wave left and then we can call this a video, because when the Simulor came out, I was away from home, but I got the day 1 access email and it was like, a weapon that creates singularity rifts and you can create black holes. I was like, holy shit, where did this come from? That is awesome. And I had my laptop whilst I was out. I thought, oh, I've got things to do, but I really want to see how this weapon works. I really want to see how good it is, how fun it is. So I launched up Warframe just for a quick mission, and yeah, it was a weak level 1 weapon. But I thought, wait a second, this is, when you said singularities, I was thinking black holes and really powerful, fuck off vortexes, not these little orange glowy orbs, or blue, I guess technically, as that was their default colour. Not the little orbs that suck into each other very slowly if they're within breath's range of each other. I wasn't expecting that, and I was disappointed. And disappointment is a horrible feeling to feel in a game that you do love so much. Oh no, I actually died. Shit, I thought I was doing well until then. But alas, I died, and I'm disappointed in myself. I'm aware that I'm not as I literally said at the beginning, I'm not a player who min-maxes things. Maybe my build could be optimized, maybe I could be playing with a different Warframe using some kind of synergy that I haven't yet realized. There might be ways to get the Simulor to work as a powerful weapon, as a weapon that can be unparalleled with others, if you play it in a particular playstyle. But I'm yet to find that, and my struggle with finding it is frustrating, in honesty, because I've tried lots of different builds. I've tried fire rate and ammo capacity builds, so I can lay out more and fire faster, and basically focus on quantity as opposed to quality, but that really didn't work. So now I've sort of tried focusing on damage and stuff, and elemental procs, and just getting as much damage as possible, but as you can see, that really isn't working too well for me. I don't know how long I've been recording, but I'm on wave 5 of a defense mission, and the chiropod is at pretty much half health, and I'm struggling. I really am struggling to just kill the enemies. It's hard. It really is. It's hard to get this weapon to be what I want it to be. And even the Atomos isn't actually doing as much damage as the Simulor right now, and you can see that the Simulor is straight up more powerful. So it's got you can see it has that potential of power. It's just making that power and operationalizing it to the point where it's usable, and where other weapons wouldn't be much better and much more fun. I really am repeating myself at this point, but that's because I was expecting this video to be much shorter. I said how I had that defense mission and it was fun, but this defense mission indoors It's not been fun. It's been very, very drawn out, for lack of a better way of putting it. So I will just say my closing thought. Or no, I don't even need to do my closing thoughts. I have said it enough. But I want to hear your closing thoughts on the Simulor and how you think it could be improved, or if it doesn't need improving, if you think it's fine as it is. But yeah, this is me, Evans with Z11. Please rate if you enjoyed the video and let me know your thoughts on the Simulor. This is me out. Peace.